Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All audience, the conference of Define Economics. I am Dr. Henry Tanjung from Ibn Khaldun University Bogor of Indonesia. Alhamdulillah, I would like to deliver a speech about the relevance of faith or divinity in economic decision making. Audiences, all professors, all doctors, all scholars of Islamic economics. I got data from IMF. This is very interesting data describing about the GDP per capita from the first age of Prophet Muhammad SAW until now, until the year of 20th, 2020. The first page I would like to divide this by 2 or 3 phases. In the time of Prophet Muhammad SAW, from 600 after decrease until 1200 after the Renaissance. It's called by the golden age of Islam, and as well as at that time we call it the dark age of Europe. So the golden age of Islam is the dark age of Europe. And in the range of 600 years from Prophet Muhammad to the golden age of Islam until the Renaissance, the growth of the GDP is not going up too much like this, but the range, or we call it the inequality between people, how people acquire property, and then if we compare year by year, it is not issue. What I'm saying is the problem of wealth in the 600 years is not the problem of inequality in the golden age of Islam. The problem of inequality arose when we start the industry revolution around 1600 after decrease. From Industry Revolution 1.0 to Industry Revolution 2.0 and 3.0 and now 4.0. So the problem of inequality is important and is significant problem now, create the poverty all over the world. Audiences, professors and scholars, the question is why? Why the industry revolution creates such inequality of the property, inequality of the wealth of the nations? Why? The main problem is, honestly, with the industry revolution, banking system with the interest rate system start to arise, start to develop. So In other words, we can say that the interest rate banking system create the huge differences between the rich and the poor. So the inequality problem arose. Why? Because as all we know, the interest rate banking system making money from nothing, making money from zero. Just because of interest rate, they print money. This is the problem. The second problem is with the banking system, the capitalists try to accumulate all the wealth in their hand. That's why we see nowadays that very few rich people compared to huge plenty of bulk of the poverty, so many poverty, so many poor people in this world nowadays. Professors and doctors, why in the golden age of Islam the inequality of wealth is not issue or was not issue? Why? The best answer is because there is no riba at that time. There is no banking system at that time. All rich people, they want to sacrifice their wealth for the ummah. They want to share their property to the ummah. The spirit of sharing, the spirit of caring, they did in the good way. They pay zakat, they pay infaq, they give sadaqat, they give waqf for the ummah, for the people, for the welfare of the public people. Now the question is, why they did like that? Why the rich people in the golden age of Islam want to sacrifice their wealth for the ummah? Because of the faith. This is the key. This is the relevance of the faith to the economic decision. Why? Because they believe that they sacrifice wealth in this world and they will get the reward in the hereafter. They get the reward in the hereafter. So this is the belief. And if we see the hadith, this is from Tirmizi. The hadith says, "Inna likulli ummatin fitnah, wa fitnatu ummatil al-mal, wa fitnatu ummati al-mal." Truly, verily, in every ummah there is fitnah, there is exam, and fitnah for this ummah, fitnah for the ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the wealth. This is reported by Tirmizi. What does it mean? It means that many people who have the plenty of property, they are unwilling to sacrifice their wealth. They don't want to give infaq, sadaqat, and waqf for this ummah. But for the one who believe, For example, in the Sahaba, in the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in the 600 years until the Khilafah, they sacrifice all their property for the Ummah. So this is the faith, this is the belief of a Muslim, of the good Muslim. Because of what? Because Allah also says in the Quran, Al Imran, verses 92, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Lan tanalul birra hatta tunfiku mimma tuhibbun. Wa ma tunfiku min syai'in fa innallaha bihi alim. Never will you attain the good reward until you spend in the way of Allah from that which you love. From that which you love. And whatever you spend, indeed Allah is knowing of it. So, if we want to make a conclusion about the relevance of faith and divinity in economic decision, so the belief of reward from our spending in the way of Allah, this must be number one. As a Muslim, we believe in the hereafter. We believe Al-Quran. We believe Allah. We believe Prophet. So, we believe that what spending that we do in this world must be rewarded in the hereafter. When maybe we will be in the Akhirat for thousands of years, we will get the reward from our infaq, from our sadaqah. Professors, scholars, audiences, the problem now, I got data from Oxfam 2019, accumulation of the wealth now has been happened. Billionaires who own some wealth as half of the world. For example, in 2017, 42 people owned the same as the poorest half of the humanity. 42. And 2018, 26 of the people own the same as the poorest half of humanity. Look, how much the poorest half of the humanity? Around 3.7 billion people. It means 26 people, the property of them equal to 3.7 billion people of the world. The poorest half of humanity. This is unfair, this is injustice. That's why all audiences, now we have to have a spirit. We have to spread out the spirit of giving, the spirit of infaq, to decrease the inequality. We should sacrifice all our property in the way of Allah, and spending in the way of Allah, so that we can reduce the inequality, we can increase the GDP per capita of the world, we can increase the spending, the consumption of the poor people, and then the inequality will be better, and then the welfare will be better, and then ultimately we will be happy and we will reach our ultimate goal, as a baldatun tayyibatun wa rabbun ghafur. I think that's my speech for this occasion, for this events. So thank you, and inshallah we meet again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.